Welcome back to Sempa 360. I'm talking to James Onen. He's a radio personality with Sanyo FM. He's a famous voice that many of us wake up to. Often he annoys the heck out of me, but it's just that, controversial. He's the leader of Kampala's quote-unquote free thinkers, a group that I call the anti-God society. They're just too scared to call themselves what they really are. And he's not yet married, and I'm hoping at the end of this program, maybe we'll cast the demon of non-marriage out of this man. Do you think it may be a demonic problem? I mean, how old are you? You're famous, you got money, you're getting a job, you've seen your parents get married, they're married. What's up? You can't find a good woman?
No, that's not it, really.
What's up? You can't handle responsibility? You get scared?
I am extremely responsible, which is why I don't have any kids right now, because I haven't wanted to have kids yet.
You having sex?
You see, responsibility to me is doing something when you're prepared to do it and being ready to deal with the consequences. That is what responsibility is. Popping out babies, even rats and cockroaches do this. This doesn't make them responsible. So I feel like the metric you're using to measure responsibilities is highly misplaced, and a lot of young men are prompted to have babies with women all over the place just so that they can get the seal of approval from people like you who say to them, oh, good job, you're passing on your genes, your ancestors will be proud. No, responsibility is about being in control of yourself and living with the consequences of your actions.
We're glad. I'm glad you give me that sermon. Let's give a hand clap to the man. Yay! But now let's blow through that smoke. How old are you?
I'll turn 40 this year.
You're 40? You haven't found a woman? I mean, if you're 27, you could give me that argument.
What do you mean? What do you mean by...
You are out of the zone. I mean, you are out in the ballpark. There's no signs over there. Every time I talk to you, you keep giving me this, that.
What do you mean?
I want to be responsible. I want to be this. I don't want to get... I mean, 40. You want to be like, who's this politician? He came back from New York. He still says he haven't got a woman.
Jesus wasn't married.
Jesus was the Messiah. You got Messiah complex?
Maybe.
You might have a complex of a...
Kill me and see if I rise up in 3 days.
You don't believe in the second life?
But the thing is, I mean, when I
So what are you looking for in a woman? I mean, Desire Luzinda, now we all know what... People are saying that she's got the shape. She's got the chitone. I mean, you and Desire would make a great couple, cute couple.
No. Look. You see, finding women is not the problem.
Okay.
There are lots of wonderful, nice, beautiful women in Kampala. So to say, oh, you failed to find a woman, it's so illogical. No man, or with even the most trivial of means, can fail to find a woman. You know, so that's never been my problem. I've never had a problem finding someone whose company I can enjoy.
Who can measure up to you? I mean, look at you. You are Mr. Debate. And I know if you're going to get a woman, she got to be, you don't need a submissive woman. You need a strong woman. A big, strong, fat woman.
I don't need that. I'm strong and I'm big and I can handle myself.
You don't want a small, submissive, quiet, or James says...
In other words, you're saying I should go get an argumentative woman.
You need a strong woman. You need to. Let me tell you, sir.
No, Pastor Sempa, yeah, I value my peace.
I would not recommend somebody that you're going to walk over. So for you, at 40, do you have a timeline when you think you're going to find responsibility?
I am already responsible.
No, in terms of getting a wife and children.
Who's a responsible man? A man who decides he doesn't want to have children yet and so doesn't have them, or a man who just has children willy-nilly because he needs to fulfill some social obligation and yet he can't afford to look after these children? This is who you're calling responsible.
You know what I sound? You sound like the kid who came home and said, hey, Dad, listen, I have bad news. And she says, well, I failed my grades, and then she went on the most extreme, and then finally he says, look, but that's not true, but I'm just pregnant. you could give the most, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not as bad as the others, but really, I mean, how many people in Uganda do you meet who are 40, successful in what they are doing, and they are nowhere being married?
I don't know. I don't live my life for other people, Pastor. I live my life according to what I
No,
want.
man, it's an island.
I'm
We
not
all
an
together.
island. You're my friend. We're here.
Yeah,
We're chatting.
that's why
aren't
we
you?
talk about this issue.
Yeah, so?
But I've actually got to the point where I think, James, that I think we may need to have a special deliverance prayer.
Special deliverance prayer.
Yeah.
So that
So we cast out the spirit of refusing to get married or of fear of women.
Pastor, why do you want me to suffer? Men are suffering.
No,
Married
no,
men
no,
are
no,
suffering.
No.
I would not wish marriage on anyone I
No,
care
I
for.
think that you're hanging out with the wrong people, people who are not having a great.
No.
I mean, I've been married to my wife 24 years. I'm
Yeah.
having a time of my life.
How come all your hair is off?
Growing. It's growing.
Stress.
No, it's not stress. It's just
But let me tell you something.
love
Okay,
of my life.
let me put
But
it
we,
this
we're
way.
going to get back. We're going to go forward off of this. Listen, I want to give you a free offer. When you get ready to marry, my daughters can be flower girls, and then I'll do the wedding.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what? No, thanks.
Hey, come on! Look at that! You're scared! You don't like Father Lakota too much. You didn't like, who was the previous Honorable Sababuturo?
Yeah, I found him to be very obnoxious, highly illogical. His arguments were terrible, and he was very smug. So he was a bit of a
You
problem.
really brand the people you don't agree with these names. Illogical, smug. You are the same
I have
people.
a different set of words to describe you if
I
you want
think
to
you're
hear
really
this.
smart. When the law against pornography came out, you called it a miniskirt law and diverted everybody's attention.
Well, that's what most people in the media called it. And the reason we did that is because it was so ridiculous, and so it deserved mockery and derision and laughter, nothing more.
So you use mockery, derision, and laughter to fight something that would threaten your business.
It's not to fight,
Because
but
a
to
report-
just, you see, but when moralists like you come out and say ridiculous things, rather than challenge you and fight you, we just laugh at you.
And
Because
mock us.
because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, if you wear a skirt this length, we're going to arrest you.
It was
I mean,
never
it's
there.
2015.
It was
We
never
have to
there.
laugh.
It was never there. It wasn't.
Huh?
Did you read the law?
If you dress indecently, I mean, it's
It
all
wasn't
very
in there.
ridiculous.
But the issue, you have harmful exposure to young people of pornography. A report just was put out by Roger Kasiri of Slum Aid, and it showed that 8 out of 10 kids are exposed to pornography. We're talking about 8, 9 years,
So what?
10, 11, 12.
So what?
Well, this is what happens. When a kid is exposed to pornography so early, these are the roots of rape. These are the roots of sexual deviance. These are the roots of sexual
because,
violence.
how come-
These are the
how come-
roots
how come-
of distortion
How come
of sexual identity.
sexual violence, rape, the rates of these things are lowest in the countries where pornography is pervasive?
No, it's not true.
It is.
Show me.
Huh?
Show me.
Rates of, like in Japan, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so, the crime rates, first of all, for violent crime, so low. Rapes are also very few, if at all they're there even. So essentially, I think you're
Let me
fighting
put
the
it to
wrong
you.
thing.
I just saw a study out of Japan that something like 4 out of 10 men no longer having sex.
That's right. Where
They're no longer having babies.
That's right.
Japan is facing a demographic winter.
There's a new
The
movement
gov-
of
the gov-
men
the
called
government
men
is
going
begging
their
them.
own way.
I mean, Denmark.
That's right.
Netherlands.
That's right.
France.
You see,
Russia.
Uganda is late.
These are people.
Uganda is late to the
now
party.
let me finish
but
this point. They are begging men and women
Yeah.
to make babies
Yeah.
because they're shutting down schools.
Yeah.
They're shutting down social welfare.
Yeah.
And the living are afraid there'll be no workers to take over their.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
So for you, that's good.
It's fine.
Why?
It's because the way, for example, if you
This
look,
is horror.
no.
This is the death of a
Essentially,
race.
if you look at the way the typical welfare state operates, is that taxes are collected to provide services, and when governments want to win elections, they offer more goodies to the existing citizens in the hope that they might win elections. Now, what happens when they don't have the money to pay for those goodies now? Well, they transfer these debts to future generations through issuing of bonds and trade deficits and things like that, so that the older generations are the ones who have to meet the cost of catering for the younger generation have to meet the cost of catering to the older generation. And so what are young people finding? They're finding cost of living is so high. They're finding inflation is sky high.
No.
They simply
let's
cannot
not,
afford.
Let's not have babies because the cost of living is too high. There'll be no Nagasaki's It's Mitsubishi, Sanyo, not Sanyo FM, but Sanyo. By the way, the Japanese names are very close to
Sanyo.
Sanyo.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, so really, we have I would love for you to take a look and read about demographic winter.
I'm aware of.
Problem.
I know it's a problem, but you know,
and then
it
the
can't be
linkage
helped.
between pornography and crime, the collapse of price real estate, the increase in policing.
Let me tell you what happens.
The increase in marital violence.
Research has been done. The more pornography is pervasive in a given community, sexual crime goes down.
No.
Yes, there is research. There is research for this.
No. Probably by porn dealers and porn.
So essentially, people have an outlet for dealing with their sexual pressure, so that they do not feel the need to take it out on some innocent people.
I think that you can see that Japanese are no longer having kids. They're no longer even enjoying sex.
They're not.
I mean, that's terrible.
But that's the.
I can't actually
my question is, why do you care? Live your life the way you want.
No, I'm an African. Being an African
means being in everyone's business.
Ubuntu is I am because we are. The European says, I am because I am. I am because I think. You must understand the fundamental difference between the Western way of thinking and the African way of thinking. We're very different. We may speak English, but we're still African. I'm part of a clan. I have guidance on who I can have sex with, who I can marry. I have guidance on about children, the names of my children. I have guidance by my elders.
Yeah, well,
and we are more than 1,000 years old.
Unfortunately for you.
From the proud Baganda stock.
Good for you. But unfortunately, you're fighting an unwinnable war. And no matter what these governments in these Western countries do,
America is 250 years old. England, we are older than England. We had parliament before they ever were. We had legislation, communication system. Look, we have a heritage to keep. Don't give up.
You know what? You're alive today, tomorrow you'll be dead. Try and live a fruitful life while you're alive. That's all you need to care about.
You know what I think where we're different, we really differ, is because for you life is so short. Yeah. And there's no judgment day. There's no God in your life. There's no direction about posterity and future. You either make it or you don't make it. But I'm different. I have a sense of destiny.
No,
I'm
you don't.
here for a purpose.
You believe that that's ironic because you believe that this world is going to end anyway. With the return of Jesus, there will be a tribulation and then the end of the world and everyone will be in heaven. So there will be no Baganda, no Japan, which makes your entire argument pointless.
Have you read the Bible? It talks about in Revelation
will there be a Japan in heaven?
I saw many tribes.
Will there be a Buganda in heaven?
Listen,
do you believe that?
Yes, I
do. You do not believe that.
Japanese.
You know, as far as you...
There'll be a Japanese song in heaven. There'll be an Acholi song in heaven. There'll be a Baganda song in heaven.
No, there won't.
Yes,
because you're all going to be these balls of spirit gas floating in the ether.
You need to spend some more time with a good Bible preaching church. I want to come back to another issue.
That's what you believe.
I do. You need to invite me to Kampala, free thinkers, so I can set those guys free.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is...
Harriet Tubman says, I set free thousands of people. But if the slaves knew that they were slaves, I would have set free more.
You know, what is your concern that religion seems to be in decline? If it is, then I think you need to address the core issue. And the fact is a lot of people are coming to the realization that what they were taught doesn't correspond with reality as much as they used to think it does.
My issue is liberals.
And they're asking questions, they're looking into it, and when they come to people like you for answers, they just tell them, read the Bible. But then that's sort of circular because the Bible itself, its authenticity, is the thing they are questioning.
Let me come back to you. My problem is the liberals like you who think that radical individualism will win the day. I do whatever I want. Don't give me laws. Let me do whatever I want.
I believe in cycles.
The individualism like you is going to need a strong autocratic government to enforce all this affirmative action,
I'm not a liberal.
And all of this.
I'm not a liberal.
And that's what's going. You may not call yourself that, but that's your philosophy.
I'm not a liberal and I'm not a conservative. I'm a voluntarist.
No, you just want the label of atheist. No. You're a free thinker.
No, my political philosophy is voluntarism. Which means for as long as you're not violating someone else's right, everyone should be free to do what they want to do.
I will put it to you next time that I think you need to start the religion of the confused.
No.
That's what
I'm a voluntarist.
You are the Messiah.
I'm a voluntarist. That's what you need to know.
But I appreciate your strong argument. I appreciate the ability to contest ideas. And I look forward. You can host me on your radio show. And if there's anybody there who would love to have a healthy debate with my good friend, where can we find you?
Well, I'm on Sunny FM, I do the breakfast show, and I do a show called Alive and Kicking, so you can tune into the radio and call in and have an argument about anything you like, 6 to 10 a.m. Also easy
Alive
to
and
find,
Kicking?
Yeah, and Sunny Breakfast. Alive and Kicking is on Saturday. Also easy to find on social media, on Facebook. I'm out there sort of having discussions about various things. You know, you can shoot me up a message or post something on my wall, or you can go to my website, fatboyunplugged.com. I have podcasts.
Do you have the podcast when I debated you and kicked your what?
I uploaded the podcast of you and me and Andrew Manda.
Listen, it's great to be with you. I have to go. My friend James Onen, Fat Boy, probably we just have to pray for him to get a good wife and get saved someday. On behalf of the entire crew of Sempa 360, we take the wild go around. Next time we'll be going around with somebody else. Have a good night.